Girl, we got some tea?
With the honey and the sugar.
Nah, we gonna need some wine for this one.
Well, wine me, please.
Welcome back to another episode of the Wine Me Please podcast, where your favorite trio is here to slay these airways. It's your favorite Shaniqua.
It's your girl Dominique.
And Candace.
And y'all know what to do. So, Candace, tell the people what we drinking today.
We are drinking the California Heritage Sweet Red Wine. So take your next dinner party to the next level with this California Heritage Sweet Red Wine. The smooth and sweet wine bursts with fruity notes of black cherry and juicy raspberry in every sip. Sounds exciting. Pairs well.
Sounds sweet.
Yeah, I like
Sounds
sweet.
like Dominique.
That's up her alley. Pairs well with spicy beef kebabs, sizzling steaks, or sweet desserts for a meal all your guests will love. It's 10.5% alcohol. And for our charcuterie, we have a cranberry and almond chicken salad.
Y'all better come get one of these.
So, yes, they got it from Aldi's.
The wine and the chicken salad is from Aldi. Give me my money.
And that chicken salad be that.
I usually get the one without the cranberry. Yeah, actually, I order like the little mini ones. And
They
take those
both
to
are
lunch.
good. They do. They have the mini ones and cranberries too.
Anyways.
Swirl it, sniff it, sip it.
Cheers it. Ma'am.
It don't start with an S.
It don't matter.
I was like, is that a factor?
Yeah, swirl it, sniff it, sip it. I'll start with S. Cheers.
Just
it.
right up to her alley.
This is in my alley.
This is good actually.
If you need a spoon, we have
about to be on a t-shirt.
Cheers it.
No, serious. Okay.
Yeah, so it's sweet. The walnut, the chicken walnut salad, it is sweeter, but it's good. They also have a regular one though. Yeah. Aldi definitely needs to put us on.
I was gonna say, what about the wine?
Oh, the wine was good.
It's your normal sweet.
I thought we said that.
It was just normal sweet, yeah. And it's only like $5. So
It was nothing memorable. It wasn't nothing bad. I don't know how to describe it. It was good.
it was like, okay, cool.
Like I could. It's only.
But the
10%.
chicken salad though.
Right my hands off. As I say, the sponsorship is definitely about to pull up.
This chicken salad so good. And I don't even eat chicken no more.
Oh, you eating today, so you eat it.
Right, well,
You don't eat it like that.
I made a sacrifice for y'all.
You went pescatarian?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say yet.
Thank you.
You need that? All right. Don't get too silent now. People still watching and listening.
It's ASMR.
Yeah, I just gonna have to sit here and watch this.
Well, hold on, let me finish this one. I'm good.
It's the crunching. And they can hear, I know y'all can hear us crunching. Because when I went through one of the replays of another episode and we had the little crackers with the buffalo dip.
That was a crunch.
That's why I was like, no, this is all
It's
ASMR.
funny because I definitely edited that down. So
I was listening to it like, oh my God.
I was like, sis, you need to start tagging ASMR because this is really what this is.
Oh my God.
Some
it was so
people-
loud.
Yeah, and those chips was crunchy.
No,
Like, that was the bruschetta chips. That was
Absolutely.
hard.
Yeah. But it was just so funny watching the playback like, oh my God, they is killing this food.
All the time.
Yes. So today we are talking about caregiver stress.
Yes.
And so actually, I did a presentation. I was asked to do a presentation at a local church to talk about seasonal affective disorder and caregiver stress, just because the population of that church, a older population, taking care of loved ones and things like that. And my colleague that I was working with, who we also had on the show, Tiara, I didn't realize caregiver stress syndrome was a thing. Mm-hmm. That was actually my first time actually hearing that it actually being called a syndrome. No, it's not in the DSM-5, but it is something that's medically recognized as like something that severely impacts people's mental health as well.
Yeah.
And of course, I think on a superficial level, we know that, but like just seeing how much and how significant and how it varies in people, and so thought that would be interesting to talk about as well.
Yeah, I have a lot of experience in the caregiver aspect. I haven't been a caregiver myself, but I worked for an Alzheimer's Association where caregivers will call in oftentimes for therapy themselves over the phone. And they were going through it. And then also, I was a hospice social worker. So, of course, in-home hospice social worker. So, I had to work alongside the families who were caring for the person that would likely eventually pass. The stress is real. The stress is real. I would say on the side for those people that may have dementia-related diseases or Alzheimer's, just to give a heads up, dementia is a symptom of Alzheimer's. Dementia isn't Alzheimer's. Anybody can get dementia. Not everyone gets Alzheimer's. But Alzheimer's, a person, just so people can kind of understand.
Not laughing at you.
But caregivers for those who have dementia-related diseases or Alzheimer's, you see your person normally, just as they are. They get the diagnosis, and it is a slow decline and deterioration. So you're watching a person go from something to almost absolutely nothing. You can watch your own parents say your name one day and not know who you are, and you feel like a stranger the next day. And then you're caring for them. You watch them go from being able to feed themselves to you being able to have to feed them, having to bathe them. They can't drive anymore. You see such a decline, and you're caring for them. Alzheimer's can last 10 plus years.
Yeah, I've heard.
So you're going through this the entire time. This is not your life. People has had to quit their jobs to take care of their loved ones. Yeah. And then when
there's financial stress that comes.
There's financial stress. And then when the person, the caregiver is now your identity.
Right.
Now the person passes away.
Oh.
And that task and that burden is no longer there. But that identity that you took on is no longer there too. And now you just don't know what to do.
I got a client that's literally, I'm working with her on that because her mom passed away and she had been her mom's caregiver for 10 years. And she's like, what the hell do I do with my life now? Like, I don't know what to do. And so we've been trying to figure out, like, literally take it all the way back. Like, okay, what are all the things you wanted to enjoy? Like, what were you doing before? Or what do you even think excites you now? Because now it's like we have to try out all these things to see what you enjoy doing, on top of still just grieving her mother.
Exactly.
But that whole, it became her identity. And she's like, what?
It becomes a task that you dread, and then all of a sudden you miss it.
Yeah, I was just about to say you miss it.
Like you're waiting.
There's grief that comes.
It's grief that comes along with it. It's almost like you are, and this is caregiving in general. Because my mom kind of assumed the role for my dad. My dad passed at 45, and although he was still very able and moving around, he was still sickly. So my mom couldn't wait for him to heal so that she wouldn't have to take on the task of him passing. I mean, have to care for him as much as he needed, even though he was still able-bodied. But then when he passed, it was like, I wish I had more time to take him to the hospital. I wish I had more time to get his medication. You know, you start missing the very things that you once dreaded. I used to, when I was at Alzheimer's Association, just listen to caregivers talk all the time, how stressful they were. The loved ones can become abusive. They're upset and angry that they're going through that. But the person that they feel the most comfortable taking out that anger with is the person that's caring for them. And they get all the grief and all the backlash and all the you take on abuse as a caregiver too, to a certain extent. So it's that caregiver syndrome, that caregiver stress. It's a real thing.
When you said taking on the identity of it, that hit home a lot for me, because I watched my mom be a caregiver to a lot of our family members who were ill. My dad had passed away of cancer. So my aunt passed away in our home of cancer. So all our childhood, I watched my mom take care of other people. But after my dad passed away and there was no one else really to take care of, her sense of identity just was lost, and she started to blame herself of what could she have done more or done differently, and so her grief looks real different, where it's like very depressive,
Mm-hmm.
not wanting to explore those things of like, oh, what could have you done with your life had you
Yeah.
had not been doing all these
Yeah.
things for these people, and there's no sense of identity.
Because you feel like also like, because my mom had that too. My mom also was very active in taking care of my grandfather before he passed away. And then she went from like, my mom had kids young. She had me at 17, my little brother at 27, was married, started taking care of her dad, and then she had to take care of her husband. So her whole identity has just been taking care of people.
Yeah.
So now it's just kind of like she's like at this stage where she's like becoming an empty nester in general. She's not married, the children are older, moved out, and she's just like, I don't know what to do. Like she's almost afraid.
Yeah.
And then you just think about all the time that you lost. Like I could have been doing like all this other stuff, and I was just busy taking care of other people. Now who's gonna take care of me?
Yeah.
You know, but it's definitely challenging. I think what's also challenging about the caregiver stress is that for some reason, even when there's a whole family, it still only falls on one person.
Yeah.
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 It's still, and so then there's the family dysfunction or the family issues that come about, the arguing that comes about, you know, the fighting that comes about, because it's like this person needs help. I had one family, they argue up and down because the person that was caring for the loved one, this was a hospice case, the loved one was getting paid from the state, but you can only get paid up to 20 hours.
Right.
And they're like, well, at the end of the day, it was a parent. They're like, well, mom, you're living in the house with mom, and mom, you know, paid the bills in the house. You're living for free. You're doing this for free, but she's up in the middle of the night having to wipe ass, give morphine.
That y'all not doing.
But y'all not doing. And you talking about the fact that the state pays her for 20 hours a week. That's crazy. She quit her job when she was making well above that and wants to take care of nobody but her damn self.
That part.
So people
The flip
forget
side
those
of that, though,
things.
I've also seen people like collect that and then don't do anything to help the people that they're supposed to be helping with that money too. Because I've seen the flip side
like
of that
the
too.
abuse of it.
The financial abuse of helping those that are supposed to be, you're supposed to be coming in to help and do those
And you
resources,
don't.
and you're not. You're just collecting the money from it. So I've seen that.
Oh, like they collecting the money and they not even taking
They're
care
not.
of it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I had a case like that too. It was so crazy because that lady was. She was y'all got people tapping into my phones type of lady. So we had to call APS and get that man up out of there. Had to try and find an organization that would pay for him to get flown out to a loved one, but he was like bedridden, so we had to go through like so much. But she was that it was his house that she was staying in, and the brother had called us and told us that he had just found out that the house was in foreclosure. So she wasn't even using her dad's money that he had from his pension to pay for the house, and the house went into foreclosure while they were still living in it.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, the caregiver part of that can be, and on the flip side, look, to play advocate, right? It's like how much of that ends up becoming rebellious out of anger, and now you're rebelling against the fact that you're a caregiver and you're upset, and you get what I'm saying? Because I've seen that as well too. Like I'm gonna take back control of my life because I feel like my life is being controlled by this person.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. It's not easy, but there are, as we stated before, there is support.
There's
out
support
there.
and there's resources, and I feel like, and for y'all who don't know, APS stands for Adult Protective Services.
Yeah.
But I also feel like a lot of people don't tap into the untouched resources that's out there, like through that person's Medicaid or whatever, whichever one go for the older population. Because there are certain services you can receive. You can receive an in-home person that comes in, even if it's just one day a week. You know what I'm saying?
You can do that.
And it can be a third party, not a family member or anybody.
Yeah, that like helps. And then every Tuesday, Miss So-and-so from such place is coming. That's my day to take back and go do, to feed back into myself, to do what I need to do. Because that's what they're paid for.
And you have to make them do it. Also, the city will pay for respite. So respite really just means relief.
Yeah.
And they will give you up to 10 days a month where that loved one will go to a facility for up to 10 days.
Again, they not tapping it. It's so many resources that's not being and I'm not gonna. I think they're also just not tapping into it because they don't know.
I was gonna say they don't know.
You know, because there are sometimes, I'm gonna call it spade a spade. There are some workers out here that when your family member's going through this and you're learning all this stuff about what needs to take place, like hospice and stuff, they're not telling them, well, you can tap into this, you can do this, you can use this service so that you get a break.
And sometimes they make the process so hard and complicated that it
it's discouraging.
It discourages.
Yeah,
right. Like even filing for Social Security disability, that process in itself takes so long, and it's discouraging to get that denial, to go through that appeal, to reapply, to gather your information.
Absolutely.
And then going through the documents is like certain people need a level of literacy to go through and make sure they're doing all the documentation appropriately.
Patience is very important in this process.
I would say what's also unfortunate, it's so unfortunate, but you know, you're taught to have like this idea of like the American dream. You be successful, have your investments, have your 401ks, have your pensions. Like you're taught to like get these things, but unfortunately, the truth is that it does not help you when you get to an older point. I've had so many people where they had pensions and they had 401ks, but facilities are almost $6,000 a month.
Yeah, they taking all that money.
And you're not getting Medicaid. If you have that type of pension, you're not going to get any Medicaid to help pay for it.
Yep.
I had to help at least 3 people in my career sell their house so that they could go to a facility because they needed the around-the-clock care. And just think about the idea. Some of those families are like, this is my gender. This is the first person. This may be the only house in the family. That's that that idea of what they may believe is generational wealth. And I have to sell it and help sell my mom's house because I can't afford to continue to take care of her. And I think that's a lot of the people that I work with were only children. And I think for me, that's like my fear.
Yeah.
With Dalen possibly being an only child, is the idea of like, he's going to be young. When I turn 60, he's just going to be 30. So that he still has a young life. And at that time, you know, I'll probably enter into the retirement phase, hopefully before then. But, you know, it's just kind of like, I don't want him to put his life on hold at such a young age to have to, like, care for me and his dad.
Yeah.
By himself, at least. So it's that whole realm of things, it can get really complicated when you get older.
Absolutely. And like how you saying, like, you had to help people like literally sell their house. Like one of my clients, like I was going through that process with her because she needed to put her dad in a facility. And, you know, again, because he had too much money in his savings.
But not enough. Too much, but not enough.
That they was like, you got all that money, like you're not gonna the state not gonna pay, so we had to get rid of all that. Get rid of all that money, and you know he essentially like they bought stuff and then he just gave the rest of her like to go do whatever.
You had to spend it down. They call it spend down.
You gotta spend it down, and I was just like, that is so crazy. But wait a minute, right? He gets only about like $100 a month out of whatever that's left after the state pays.
Takes up everything. Yeah, at the nursing facility.
And it's like, what I'm gonna do with $100 a month?
I know some people only get like $60.
Yeah,
out of all of that, because whatever his pension check is, whatever he got,
they gonna take the hair.
Yeah, and
they gonna take their
all. 80, and I think it's only 80 because me and her was literally talking about how to manage that $80 because he just like he always wants different things because it's not like he's not able-bodied, but like he can't live on his own.
Exactly.
And so she's like, I don't want to just give him all money because I know he's just gonna go and buy BS, right?
Stuff that he don't. Yeah.
And I was like, well, just give him $20 a week. Because she still want him to feel like he has some type of control of something, right? Yeah. I was like, just break it down and give him $20 a week so that you know it ain't all gone that first week.
Exactly.
And now he's calling you the next week like, okay, I need some snacks or I need this or whatever. Because depending on the facility, they still have to like buy the snacks for them so they can have.
One of my friends is like that. She still has to buy all her clothes, all her snacks, provide her with, not her prescribed medication, but like other medications. Like she still has to provide vitamins. She still has to pay for
hygiene products.
Absolutely.
Hygiene products, all of that. And they can't even keep the lady clothes properly. She be wearing different people's clothes.
Yeah. And one of my other clients who's she's over her aunt ordeal, and she's also in the home too, and they had to do the whole thing to spin down and stuff like that. And And that's the thing. Like, she be on. I love that lady. She be on their ass. She call up there. She goes up there weekly to
You
visit.
have to.
And she's like, so why these clothes looking like this?
The people
what's
that get
happening?
the best care are the people who got the most family presence.
Yep. And so she goes in weekly. She takes the clothes, switch it out. You know, she goes home, washes everything, and bring it back or whatever. Just because, you know, she like things a certain way, but she don't play. She like, why is this not clean? Why y'all haven't done this? Like, one time they didn't know that, like, she can see behind the counter of, like, the list of contacts for, the charge nurse and all other stuff. And she had been asking them for weeks, okay, what are you guys doing? Like, why isn't this particular problem solved? She saw it. She snapped a picture of it. They didn't see her, but she saw it, snapped a picture of it. And she called the charge nurse when she got home. I think it was, like, her personal phone or something. And she was like, you guys, how did you get this number? She said, it's on the wall. I saw it. And they not doing a problem. They not fixing the problem, so I'm calling you.
Right.
And she went 2 days later, everything was fixed. She's like,
I bet you them numbers was off the wall.
And then right.
And that was a running joke in our
Unless she gonna go and change all these numbers, I'm calling every time.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But she's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, what are we talking about here?
And that's the stress of it too. It's who's gonna care for my loved one the way I'm going to care for my loved one. Like, so it's kind of like you just still take on, and even when the loved ones are in a facility, it's still stress. It's still stress in there. Like, you just have to trust that your loved one's been taken care of. You still have I gotta make sure I visit them every day or as often as I can. I gotta make sure.
And that's stressful too.
I'm still washing their clothes. Like, that's how my friend is. They put a sign, do not wash her clothes. Because every time we don't stitched her name in all her clothes. And y'all still give her clothes to other people.
That's ridiculous.
So, it's like you go through all of that as a caregiver, and it's like it's still stressful. I don't think people really understand the stress of caregivers. There just honestly needs to be a caregivers program in general, like, for them to get financed. Like,
as the population is getting
seriously.
older, honestly, we probably
Seriously.
should. It probably needs to be.
Yeah.
Get started.
You're right. I need
You
to.
might as well.
I need to start something.
Because the expectation of people hasn't changed despite our loved ones getting older, right? Like, people still got to work. People still got to raise their own kids. People still have their own hobbies and interests and things like that. And so it becomes that expectation of life is supposed to stop to help take care of someone. And that is exhausting.
And we're entering into that phase where, like, we're about to have a whole lot of old people because baby boomers. Ain't them what I'm calling them boomers?
Our parents.
Yeah.
And because there's less children,
whoever.
They're the result of the baby boomers.
Yeah.
And the family dynamic has changed so much where it's less kids. So it's not like we have big families of 7 and 8 kids no more. It's like 1 or 2 kids with elderly parents. And one sibling live half a country away. Across the way. And it's like, okay, well, who does that fall on? And then how do you manage that when the family structures don't look the same anymore?
Yeah. So me and Darnell, we've kind of had like a little bit very vague conversation about this, but we stay on a block with older adults. Like,
that's how my block is.
They keep up with the block. They keep up with the block. They keep up with everything, but they're all older adults. Our next door neighbor, he has Alzheimer's, and then there's his wife, but he is physically able-bodied, but not mentally as witty as his wife is. His wife is more mentally there, but not physically there. So it's interesting dynamic. So whenever he drives, she drives with him because she has to direct him because he doesn't know where to go. Anyway, one day, and all of their children stay far out in Illinois, but far Illinois, like 4 or 5 hours away. So one day, Darnell was like, I was looking at the camera, and he was like, he said, I was trying to figure out why we had stuff in our yard. He was like, and I looked at the camera, and Mr. Ray was throwing stuff in our backyard. And I was like, oh, okay. So then one day I had went out, and I had seen Mr. Ray. And he was just like, hi, what's your name? I was talking to him regular, just fine. 5 minutes later, hi, what's your name? I said, oh, he has Alzheimer's. So, and then, but ironically, he knows Dalen. Like, he remembers Dalen, but he doesn't remember me. Every time, we've been there for a year, what's y'all name? And then he be like, y'all got a baby, don't y'all? But every time, what's y'all's name? But anyway, I told Danielle, I said, we're going to have to help them. I said, it's going to be a point. I said, their family lives far away. I said, it's just them. They're older. She can barely get down the stairs, and he can
Do
barely.
they have a pet or something?
No, nope. They have a little grandchild that comes over every now and then. So I was like, yeah. I said, because I don't know. I did meet his son one day, and his son. I try not to argue with that man. And she was like, I don't know what's wrong with my dad. It's just something just wrong with him. He just want to act like he's forgetting everything. I said, he's not acting, sir.
Right, he is forgetting.
He's forgetting. And he want to drive everywhere. I just let him drive. He got into a car accident the other day. I said, sir, I know that your wife, your mom has to get to doctor's appointment, so Mr. Ray is always driving. I said, but you got to put a kill switch on the car. I said, because one day he's going to get up in the middle of the night, and he's going to go driving, and he may not be able to make his way back, or he's going to get so far that y'all ain't going to know where he's at, and y'all going to be on Channel 7 News asking, did you see such and such?
Yeah.
I said, well, he has it serious. I don't know. I think he playing. I said, sir, I have barely been here for 6 months.
And how would he benefit from that? What is the benefit of playing?
I said, sir, this man is not playing. Not playing. He stopped. He hasn't thrown anything in our yard anymore, thank goodness. But I know that it was just because of that. And it was late at night. He was outside. And
roaming?
I was just like, exactly. I was like, sir, I said, well, look, so let me give you this resource and give you this phone number. I said, because you're going to need it real soon and sooner before you think. Wife be outside arguing with him. You don't need to go nowhere. You don't need to be in that car. Look, lady, and I just be having to pray because I'm like,
he need to put something on that car.
He needs to put a kill switch on the car.
Yeah.
He got into an accident, kept driving it the next day. I'm like, y'all, and his son don't believe it.
Probably didn't even file a claim.
Exactly. I said,
ridiculous.
I'm like, no,
How do you not believe it?
It's real. But people don't believe it because there's moments of clarity that they have where they can tell. 'Cause this is the thing, they can tell you for the whole scene that happened in World War II.
Yeah.
They can tell you everything that they did when they was little with their parents, but they can't tell you what they did 5 minutes ago. Yeah. And because of that, they be like, well, he could say this, so I know he could say this. No, it's short-term memory loss.
I was just about to say, it's just short-term memory.
What happened within the last 5 minutes? That's real short ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. But caregivers, I don't remember the Alzheimer's Association number. But any caregiver can call, though. You don't have to. They focus on dementia-related diseases. But if you're a caregiver and you're stressed, just tell them somebody got dementia. You can talk to somebody. Because for the most part, all caregivers will call. Despite the disease, the experience is quite the same.
Yeah.
The stress is quite the same of what they're going through. Despite the disease, the stress and the experience is the same. So you can call Alzheimer's Association. They have grants available for respite services, so you can get you a break. Your loved one could be somewhere. You can still visit them.
How does someone know they're experiencing burnout?
Oh, that's a good one. Alzheimer's Association can help you with that too. No.
I'll start with irritability.
Yeah, irritability.
I think irritability
That's like
and
the
like
biggest
your
sign.
your frustration tolerance starts to get minimal, where maybe you're snapping or you're having outbursts.
Angry.
Irritability.
Regret for making the choice that you made.
Yeah.
Like those kind of like self-deprecating kind of thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see what else could I think of. I think mostly really just the snapping, loss of self. You're not taking care of yourself because
your own hygiene. You're
strictly focused on the other person
living.
and not yourself. I see that a lot. Well, I would just sit there at the home and I'd be like, just go take a shower. I'll sit here. Your loved one is asleep. Go take a shower.
The fact that you're not getting sleep.
Yeah, that's a big one. Most caregivers don't get sleep.
You have to, and that's some of that is the bare minimum of like, if you can't even get help to tap out to take a nap or sleep, like you got issues yourself. Like you need to tap into some resources or some support, because you should be able to do the bare minimum for yourself, which is your hygiene, eating, sleeping. You should be able to do some of those things for yourself. The very bare basic,
your basic needs, you should be able to fulfill.
Yeah.
And if those are going astray, then
ask for. You definitely need to be asking for support. Not call Tyrone, but call what's that line?
Never mind.
I know you.
Wait.
You like serious moment. But yes, you do need to call and ask for support when things like that are starting to fall apart.
Yeah. And there's resources, and tap into your resources and be patient, like you said, because filling out all those forms, I'm personally, I'm just convinced not professionally and personally convinced that it's designed to make a person be like, F all this.
Yeah.
No, it is.
You know
No,
what I'm
it is.
saying?
Honestly.
So it's like, just tap into your support system, and like, so that you can complete all the paperwork and like go to bat to get the resources that your loved one deserves.
Yep.
And they probably didn't pay for a whole time without even knowing with all their Social Security and all that
Check
other
the
stuff.
back of your insurance card and see if your insurance offers case management, case coordination,
Yeah.
especially Medicaid,
lot
like Blue
of them
Cross
do
Blue Shield
care
community.
coordination.
A lot of them have care coordinators and resources that'll help you navigate on some of those resources, but they don't tell you that up front.
Yeah, they won't.
So check the number on the back of your card and see what resources
Check
your
the number on the
benefits.
back of the card. Because I can't stand. I got a love-hate relationship with
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's
like, what?
that fine print be like 12 pages, but
Yeah.
in that fine print there might be something in there.
Because the reality is that the insurance really don't want you to use them.
That's really it.
They
But
don't
you
want
taking
you to
all
use
my
them, but
money
you
every
taking
month.
my money, exactly.
So it's like, nah, and that's why I was like, just be patient. Like, find a patience and find somebody who you can like sit with and like encourage you to keep going and filling out whatever needs to, and making those calls and doing whatever. And also, don't be afraid to like tell your job, like, this is what's happening, what's going through, because a lot of companies these days are like a lot more receptive to it and like giving you that time off.
EAP,
FMLA.
That's
Yeah,
EAP,
FMLA.
FMLA, LOA.
What's LOA?
Leave of absence.
You can get
Oh,
short-term
okay.
disability.
Yeah.
That makes sense. LOA. I just always thought that fell under FMLA, but okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have your two different types of FMLA. You can take continuous or you can take intermittent.
Yep.
So,
I've known people that have done that. So y'all better use your resources. Y'all paying for it the whole time.
Yeah.
Whether you paying
100%.
for it in labor or at that paycheck.
You're in your taxes one way or another.
Or taxes.
Somebody getting it.
100%.
I'm finna leave here with some.
All this work.
That part. Well, we hope y'all enjoyed this just conversation about, caregiver stress and what that look like. What is it called? Caregiver stress syndrome?
Syndrome.
Yeah.
Caregiver. I never knew that was a
Me,
term.
yeah,
So,
caregiver stress syndrome.
Even if it was just a little helpful, share it with your loved ones if you know somebody that's going through it or about to start going through it because, you just found out. But we are here to help.
And I'm putting this out there, even though you guys probably necessarily didn't say it, but I'll be willing to take the reign on it if it's needed. If you guys really don't know where to find a resource, we are 3 social workers. Please just email us.
Oh, yeah.
And we can
Oh,
probably
yeah, I'm
just
good for
shoot you
that,
a
too.
message
That's not
if you guys need it. So
That's what those emails are for.
Email us.
now, if you want to have a session, they gonna charge you for it. But
Oh,
we
yeah.
Absolutely.
But a resource.
But put the tone change like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But a resource.
That
That
therapy.
consult is free.
A resource. What if somebody did like 30 free cons. They just bounce from consult to consult. Be like, I got 30 sessions.
And they just start off where they left off with the last one. This is where I'm going to start off on this one.
That's wild. That's a lot. Because they're only 15 minutes. That is crazy.
I was going to say that's a lot to process with a bunch of people.
They're like, I think I'll be healed in 6 weeks. Let me do 6 consults.
6 free emails.
6 free emails.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And
what's the
tap
tea?
into your EAP,
See,
please.
that's why a lot of therapists
They
doing
charge and they
consultations
charge
or
for consultations.
for it. Crazy. Well, y'all know what time it is. Thank y'all for tuning in. Remember to like, share, and comment. Rate us on whatever platform you're using. Leave a review. And we're not just a podcast for tea. So, wine me, please. Clink, clink, clink. And don't forget, if you want our advice, send us an email to advice@winemepleasepodcast.com.